Hey everybody, I'm Dawson and welcome back to my channel. This week I am working on creating a fire pit right here in my backyard. I have this little seating area over here by the slider, but it's not very big, and I would love to actually use that spot for like a table to eat at, and then put the fire pit and all the chairs and stuff over here so I could have two different zones, because I got quoted $8,000 to make that concrete pad larger, so this is my cheaper solution. This is currently the little concrete pad that I have off of my back patio door, but it's not super big, and I've tried to stack as many chairs in here as I can, especially when there's like a fire pit. It just doesn't work that well, but I'd rather use this area to have like an actual table and chair so I could sit out here. I'd probably get a little umbrella as well, but I love having people over for fire pit nights and that kind of stuff. So I decided I'm gonna use this area of the backyard to do that instead. I might need to add like a couple pavers to get over here, but basically what I'm gonna do is convert this area into some like a circle with gravel, and then I can put the chairs and the solo stove and that kind of stuff on there. So yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a big part of my backyard renovation, which I've been working on for this whole summer. So first thing I need to do is mow down the grass so we can actually see the dirt, and then I'm gonna have to work on taking up some of the roots that are here, because this used to be actually two big trees, and I've been fighting invasive roots ever since I took those out. This is what happens, like these little baby trees keep sprouting up, and they are all connected to different roots in the ground. So I'm gonna try to rip up as many of the roots as I can in that area, but I've been fighting this battle for weeks and I'm losing. So hopefully the gravel and that kind of stuff will help too.
I always get questions about what type of grass I have in the backyard, and I think this is called horseleaf. It's a Texas native ground cover, and it's probably actually a weed. I don't think it's a grass, but at least it's green and it's really easy to grow. Someday I would love to get new sod out here though. To mark out where I wanted this fire pit, I used a stick and a string. Very basic, but I put the stick basically right in the middle of the yard. And then I figured out, after a lot of measuring, I wanted my fire pit area to be 14 feet wide. So I used my string and I figured out where like 7 feet was from that stick. And then I just kind of held in my hand a spray can right where that 7-foot mark is on the string. Then I just kept that string tight and walked in a circle while I was painting on the ground. And much to my surprise, this worked really well. And I feel like my circle came out basically perfect. But even if you mess this step up, you'd at least have something to go off of and you can make adjustments and that kind of thing. But I definitely would recommend the stick and a string method if you're trying to make a circle in your yard size 2.
Now that I got the area marked out, I just need to flatten out all this dirt and try to remove any roots that I find so that these trees don't keep trying to come up. I'm just gonna do it by hand because I only have a shovel today.
I think you could probably skip this next step if you have another way to kill your grass. I've seen people use cardboard and kind of smother your grass, but the way that I went about this was I basically just turned all of the grass over on itself. And I wanted to do this method specifically because I knew I had that invasive tree species trying to grow back here. So I wanted to do this because it helped me identify where any of the roots are. And so when I was jumping on it with the shovel, I was able to find the roots and then cut them out. And I will be honest, this took forever to do. But I think this really helped me because I haven't really seen the trees trying to grow back that much in like the area that I did this to. So once I was done, the ground was very bumpy, very lopsided, and I needed to figure out a way to get this a little bit more level. If you've seen my walkway video, that was a very intense project where like I needed to make sure it was really level so the pavers didn't rock back and forth. But this area, I'm just doing gravel here, so I wanted it to be as level as I could, but I didn't have pavers on here, so I wasn't worried about it being like laser leveled because the gravel would really like fill in any of those bumps. So I just used a 2x4 to help me level it out, and then a rake, and again, it's not perfect, but it was level enough I could put gravel on it.
I'm gonna like finalize all the flattening of the ground in a little bit, but right now what I'm gonna do is take this metal edging, it's pretty flexible, and I'm going to hammer it down into the ground, and then I will be able to flatten everything up against it. This is going to make a little barrier between the grass area and the gravel, and I used this before in my front yard walkway, and it's really easy to work with. There are these little things here on the inside that you put a stake in to kind of hold it in place, but also when you're hammering this into the ground, it's really stuck in there, and so I think this is going to look great, hopefully.
When I did my shoveling, I didn't go all the way up to my yellow line. I left a little bit of it there so I would know where to put my metal edging. So I went ahead and started with one piece, and I just put a little stake here on the corner, and I didn't put it all the way in, but just enough so that it would hold it in place. Then I wrapped my edge around and just put it on top of that yellow line, got a couple more stakes in it to hold it in place, but I wasn't actually hammering it all the way in until I had those stakes in so that it wasn't moving around on me. Now you do need to be a little strategic when you put these in because they lock together, and I've made the mistake of hammering one all the way into the ground and then forgetting to lock it in with the one next to it. So just make sure you do like a couple, like you can do like 2 at a time, but don't hammer in the end of one until you get the next one plugged into it. I got really close to being extremely lucky on this project and having the circle be just like a perfect fit, and I wouldn't have had to make any cuts, but I ended up having to cut off, I think, like a foot off of this last piece. And so what I did was I just kind of held it in place and used a Sharpie to mark off like how much I needed to cut off. And then this part is key. I clamped it to a table so that when I use my angle grinder, it was not jumping around on me. And then I really don't like using angle grinders because they scare me a little bit, but it was not impossible to do. I just, like I said, clamped it on the table and then made a couple light passes through it. And then eventually I was able to wiggle it off and cut it there. They sell a specialty stake that you'll need to buy if you're splicing together something like this, where now I've cut that locking part off of the end of it. And so you'll just need to get one of those if you're doing something like this. But once I got that last piece in there, I was able to go around my circle and just hammer everything back in completely now that I had the shape perfected. Looking back, I mean, I probably could have skipped this step, but I just wanted to go ahead and compact down the dirt a little bit because I had been tilling it up and I wanted it to be like extra flat and sturdy. So I went ahead and just did this by hand. You can rent a plate compactor if you want to speed it up, but I was able to do this just with a handheld tool, and I think it worked perfectly, and it was a lot cheaper. Before I do anything on this project, I wanted to make sure I put down a weed barrier just to help nothing grow back in here. And I'm not delusional. I know that these don't always work, but I figured it can't hurt to try. And I know people really hate this weed cloth stuff if you put it in garden beds because it's hard to work around in the future, but this is going underneath gravel, so I really don't plan on working with this in the future or adding plants on here. So I went ahead and just put down a layer of this, and I overlapped it as well. And then you just staple it into the ground. It's really easy to do. And I went ahead and worked all the way around the circle, and I just left some extra on the ends. And then once I got it all stapled in, I came back with some scissors and trimmed it all up.
I made a ton of progress today on the fire pit. I got basically everything done except for adding the gravel, but that's getting delivered tomorrow. So I think I'm done for now. I'm gonna take a long water break, sleep it off, and then tomorrow I'll come back and finish this up.
I ended up painting a little helicopter pad symbol on here just to prank some of my friends that I was building a helicopter pad in my backyard, and they thought it was funny, but you know, anything for a laugh, I'll do it.
Okay, yesterday I was able to get all of the dirt dug out of here. I flipped over the grass, I put the weed barrier down, I put the edging, and now I gotta add all the gravel. Once I get that in there, I'm gonna flatten it out, and then I'll add a little rock glue, and then honestly, I think that's it. So let's get this going. I'm excited to be done with this.
I stopped by a local landscape company to get this gravel, and I got it delivered to my house, which was really helpful. But I love going there because you can just show them what you're working on and give them the dimensions of your space, and they will do all the math for you to figure out exactly how much you need to order. This was a little bit complicated for them because I don't think they've worked with circles in a long time, so there was a lot of math going on, but they were able to help me figure out exactly how much gravel I needed, and I think I ended up doing about 1 inch of gravel for this whole area.
Now I have to make a walkway from the fire pit to the patio, and I got these little stepping stones to do it. I've never done this before, but I think you just kind of dig them into the grass, and it's that easy. So I got 6 of them. Now we just got to dig them into the ground.
I'm not afraid to admit that I might have done this wrong, but it seemed to be working for me. So what I did was I just figured out exactly where I wanted the pavers to go, just placed them on the grass, and then I took them one by one and dug out a little bit of dirt under each one and tried to level it out as best as I could with my shovel. And then I put the paver down, figured out if it was rocking back and forth, and then would just adjust the dirt under it and work my way down. Again, I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but it seemed to be working for me. I just tried to pack the dirt in around them afterwards and just have them buried just a little bit so they seem pretty sturdy when you're walking on them.
Hopefully you can hear me over my neighbor's dog, but I need to glue these rocks down now so that they don't like fling out of there into the grass and just kind of cause issues. So I'm trying this. It's called rock glue, and you put it into a little sprayer pump like this, and you just basically walk around and spray it on the ground. There's a couple of different ways to do. You could also like mix it into the rocks while you're putting them down. I don't think I could have done that myself because it's such a big area, but this is also one method to do it. You just pour it into the sprayer and then spray it on the surface. So I'm gonna wear gloves just because it came with them, so I'm assuming you're supposed to. Let's see how this goes. I think I'm gonna use up the whole gallon that I have, so just gonna pour that in the sprayer. All right. It's kind of slow, actually. Probably would be faster if there was a hole in the bottom of this thing, but that's okay. Kind of looks like laundry detergent. All right, that should be enough. Let's try that. Pumped up. I think we're good. Perfect, let's go. Okay, apparently you're supposed to dilute it with water, 50-50. So that's why it was just like dribbling out of the sprayer, but I just did that. I'm gonna try it again now. You know, here's the thing on my channel. I don't know what I'm doing all the time, but I'm willing to try it, and I'm going to tell you if I mess up and what I do to fix it. So let's see if this is a second shot. Okay, now we gotta let that dry. I think I have finally figured out the gravel, and now I'm just gonna take some of this furniture and move it over there. Oh my gosh, a wasp almost landed on this camera, and I'm being so calm right now.
Okay, if you don't like blood, skip a little bit ahead, but I went to put down the solo stove and I spun it around my finger to make a cool little video, and I literally sliced my finger open with the metal, so I gotta take a quick break. So I wanted to keep this area pretty simple and that I could always adjust it later if I need to, but I started with a solo stove in the middle. I love solo stoves, so you're not just getting hit in the face with smoke when you're sitting at a fire. And then I also had 2 black Adirondack chairs previously, so I brought those over here and I bought 2 more to match. They're actually like slightly different, but I think they look pretty good. And then I got a little potted plant, and I rescued this plant from the front yard actually, and I put it in here, and I think it looks so good. I can't believe that just a couple days ago this was a super unused corner of my backyard, and now it is a super functional, cozy fire pit area, and I can't wait to have my friends over here. I think this is a very doable DIY. I mean, honestly, the main tool that I used here was a shovel, so I think you could do it. And if you like do-it-yourself projects and home renovations, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this all the time, and right now I just started renovating a new flip house, so go and check the progress on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.